Now we have our accessories. Yeah, of course you have your DVD, CD, DVD creator. Pretty much works just like Nero in Windows. Then you have your text editor, which is like your text, sorry, like notepad. Sorry about that. Calculator was like a calculator or anything else. Managed print jobs, better than anything else. Self-explanatory, and of course, this is pretty much like your print screen with take screenshot. And wine from wine is an emulator, like I said earlier, is used to run multiple Windows applications. For more information on this, go to winehq.org. You'll find further info. And overall, pretty much, this version of Linux has been running very good for me. Only complaint that I have is definitely games department. They can do a little bit better with this. But one thing I have to admit has made this a lot better is the Ubuntu Software Center, which is pretty much like your app store. If you have like a, if you're pretty much running like Google on your phone with an Android, pretty much the same idea. Or for those of you that gotta be fancy with an iPhone, it pretty much works like the app store with Apple as well. So here you see software provided by Ubuntu, and it kind of go partners, even some of Google stuff. Kind of scroll through here, just look at what they have. You can just search the applications you want to use. Oh, no, so they have 7-zip for this system, which is very good because I have certain files I want to actually unzip later on. So of course here you type in your credentials, hit enter, and now it's actually downloading and will actually automatically install the application I want afterwards. Then of course you go to get software to see different fields you have in here. So okay, I want to be adventurous, so go to games. So we type of they getting games on here. And of course knowing me, I just want real games, so I go to arcade. There's Alien Arena and a few other ones I mentioned earlier. Like I said earlier, if you guys want to do any video editing in this OS, make sure you ignore everything except for KDN Live. KDN Live should be the only program you do video editing in. And finally, we get to our last program that I'm going to go over, which would be Rhythmbox Music Player. As you can see, it's very similar to iTunes. And ironically, one thing I've noticed, a lot of people complain about Sony being real close up with their architecture and their software, and their hardware, but the funny part is, I plug my PSP into this Linux machine, and it sees just like my regular PC or my Windows or a Mac would see an iPod. But when I put my iPod in here, it sees my iPod finally with this newer version of it, so I can actually add files soon from my iPod. But since Apple has put their proprietary, I repeat, their own proprietary system in there, I can't add any videos to it. And also, when I actually do sync with this computer, it screws up my playlist, so it jumbles my playlist all over the place. So Apple, thanks for making yourself proprietary with your nice open system. So yeah, in this case, if you're on a Linux machine, you're better off using a Sony product, because your Sony product will actually be more open than Apple's. I know Apple fanboys are going to be mad at me for saying this, but hey, it's the truth, and that's just how it is. And of course, they have a nice little feature. Of course, you have your internet radio like you do with iTunes, and even, of course, Last.fm plugins let you actually sing this with your Last.fm account if you have one. So you can, if you have like a Last.fm application installed on your Android or even your iPhone, you can actually sync it up to this. Well, since iPhone's probably going to screw up on Linux, make that your Google Android and sync with that. And of course, you can also add in the podcast, but unfortunately, you actually have to type it in your put in here manually. Once you have it in there manually, you're good to go. And of course, you can add playlists, import them. So let me go ahead and quit. And of course, the game I just installed should be somewhere in here. Or sorry, the application is installed, sorry. So it should be under okay, where'd you guys put 7-zip? Unless Then it done is probably with it just being an application that's in your system. You probably left click on some things now, and now you'll see it show up. Or actually, it'd be better if I just anyway, if I click on a zip file, it'll show up. So now going back to what I was talking about earlier, which would be Firefox. Because a lot of people are saying, okay, you don't have all the some of the Windows applications, yada yada yada. Well, one advantage to Linux and actually any other operating system now is what you have with Firefox. Like a lot of add-ons you see here actually replace a lot of the smaller programs that deal with web browsing and flash videos you have in Windows. So likewise, stuff that you may miss in Windows, you may want to check within Firefox and the add-ons. Just a little small bits and pieces just little plugins you may have played around Internet Explorer should definitely be available in Firefox and probably be a lot better. Okay, I think that's pretty much all I can think about talking about for today. So without further ado, I think I'll actually open up Chrome real quick to show you guys what Chrome looks like. It's a little bit different. And of course the add-on tabs, you click here, new tab, and of course hit the X to close it up. And then of course you right click on it to see the full menu. Just something different. But if you guys want to stick with something that looks like Internet Explorer, of course stick with Firefox. Now I'm done rambling. Let me go ahead and stop this.